And welcome into another episode of Off Script. My name is Zak Herbstreit. And Georgia fans, I've been hearing some chatter out there, some concerns about Gunnar Stockton's ability to lead this Georgia team to another successful season. And it's a little perplexing to me. But before we get into that today, if you enjoy college football, if you enjoy the channel, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel as well. It helps me out a lot, so I appreciate you guys. But let's get into it a little bit more. Specifically, I'm talking about David Pollack's comments on Gunnar Stockton. He said, if Gunnar Stockton is the same quarterback he was a year ago, Georgia has no chance to win a natty. And when I heard that for the first time, I was thinking like, whoa, that's bold. But reconsidering it in my mind, I'm like, he's not wrong. For the most part, he's not wrong. And when he's saying that, like, I don't think there needs to be catastrophic changes for Gunnar Stockton's play. I really don't, because I think he had a pretty successful season last year for the most part. I mean, won the SEC championship, made it to the playoff, had a really close game with Ole Miss, should have won the game, was up basically the entire game, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But the whole thing about like throwing motion needs to be changed, and I'm not buying into that. Like, if you were successful last season, win the same throwing motion, like, why even change it? And I understand people want to like get the ball out faster, and like I agree with that. He needs to get the ball out faster. But I want to talk about a little bit more on Gunnar Stockton here. And Gunnar in 2025 threw for 2,894 yards. He had a 24-5 touchdown to interception ratio. He also rushed for 462 yards and had 10 tutties on the ground. So when I see that, I'm thinking that's a pretty damn good season. Like, that's like, what more could you ask? Didn't turn the ball over that much, threw touchdowns. Overall, was, pretty solid. Won the SEC championship, made it to the playoff, that kind of deal. So, like, what more could you want? Well, let's get into it here. First off, you got to take less sacks. That's probably the biggest thing. And I think overall pocket presence for him is something that needs to be just worked on. And that comes with reps. That comes with games under his belt. And he had all last season. So this season, I'm expecting a lot better pocket presence. And don't get me wrong, partially this is on the O-line too. So it's not all on him here, but majority, I feel like when he was faced with pressure, he likes to just get out of there fast. And that's when a defensive lineman, especially in the SEC, when the guys are getting drafted all over the place, are just going to shed that block and just tackle you immediately. So I think pocket presence, the ability to step up in the pocket when there's pressure, trusting your O-line around you and being like, okay, I can step up and I can hit my guy over the middle. I think that's the biggest thing for him this upcoming season. Second thing, predetermining where to throw the ball. I felt like that was a huge thing, a big issue for him last year. I saw it a little bit in the Tennessee game, a little bit in the second Ole Miss game, where it would be a pass play, he gets the snap, and immediately he's just looking at wide receiver one, and he's just like, all right, get open. Get open. Oh, pressure, I'm running. So I think progression overall throughout, that's true for any quarterback, being like, okay, wide receiver one, he's closed. Where's my other guy? Two? Nope. Three? All right, check down. So I just think, like, overall, the progression going through his mind and being like, okay, I don't need to throw to wide receiver one every single time. Like, let's just get it. Let's get the ball downfield. We need yards. That's kind of what he needs to go through his head. And I just think there needs to be an overall better job of just reading the whole field and not just only focusing on one target and realizing, hey, it's concepts. This is a stick concept. This is a, four verts concept. Like, hey, if this guy is taken, I'm going to have this guy, or, just reading coverages. I think in general, just reading coverages better, reading the whole field better, especially, like, I keep bringing up the SEC, but this is, it's top tier play. Most of these games are going to be matchup games. So if you can do it in the regular season, imagine what it's going to be like in the playoff. A lot better. And my third and final thing is just consistent downfield passing. I feel like he showed he has the ability to do this. And specifically, I want to bring up the Tennessee game where fourth and whatever, needed a touchdown. He throws a fade ball to Lucky or Delp, I think it was one of the tight ends, to the corner of the end zone, and he caught it. And I was literally 10, 15 feet like in front of this. I was on the field for the game. I remember watching it live, and I was like, that was an incredible throw. Wow. So, like I said, shows the ability to do this, has it in him, but just consistently, can he consistently do that? And I think for a top-tier quarterback, a guy that's projected to be a Heisman finalist, in my opinion, you need to be able to make those throws all the time. And I feel like sometimes when pressure is shown, especially on him, he gets a little flustered. I think there's lacks some confidence in his throws, especially downfield when there is pressure, and he's maybe sometimes on the run too, like when he's like, oh, like I don't know if I can get it there. Like, just revert back to your training, trust your technique. I think you'll be fine. And I think another thing here too is when you make this Georgia passing game a big threat for these opposing SEC defenses, that opens up the run game absolutely like substantially for y'all. And I think the Georgia run game is the bread and butter. So overall, I think these are the main 3 points that Gunnar Stockton needs to kind of look at heading into spring ball, heading into fall camp, heading into this upcoming season. But Georgia fans, I want your takes on this. I think he's due for a great season. Like I said, I think he's probably going to be a Heisman finalist this year. I think he's due for a huge breakout season. But I want your takes. I want your thoughts. I want your overall opinions. I'd love to hear them. But like I said, this is Off Script. My name's Zak Herbstreit. I'll see you guys soon.